Crispus Attucks, an African-American man, was killed during the Boston Massacre in 1770. He is often considered the first person to die in the Revolution and became a symbol of resistance against British rule. But his story began long before that night in Boston. Crispus Attucks was born around 1723, during a time when many black people in America lived in slavery. He was of African and Native American descent and grew up in a world filled with hardship, fear, and injustice. Some historians believe he escaped slavery and later found work as a sailor and dock worker in Boston. Life at sea gave Attucks something rare: freedom to move, work, and live beyond the control of plantation owners. But even in Boston, tensions were rising. British soldiers filled the streets, and many colonists were angry over unfair taxes and military rule. On the cold night of March 5, 1770, a crowd gathered outside the Boston Custom House. People shouted at British soldiers, demanding justice and freedom. Among the crowd stood Crispus Attucks. Before we continue the story of Crispus Attucks, the hero of freedom, follow Echoes of the Past as we bring you more forgotten heroes from history. Your support helps us share these powerful stories. The situation quickly became dangerous. The soldiers were nervous. The crowd pushed closer. Then, suddenly, gunshots rang through the streets. Crispus Attucks was the first to fall. 5 people died that night in what became known as the Boston Massacre. News of the killings spread across the colonies and fueled anger against British rule. For many, Attucks became a powerful symbol of courage and resistance. Even though he never lived to see American independence, his death helped ignite the movement that would lead to revolution. Years later, abolitionists and civil rights leaders remembered Crispus Attucks as more than just the first victim of the revolution. They remembered him as a man who stood against oppression and became one of the earliest heroes in America's fight for freedom. Today, his name remains a reminder that history is often shaped by ordinary people whose courage changes the world forever. For comment, watch the complete story on our YouTube channel, link in bio, description, and first comment. Support Echoes of the Past and help us keep these stories alive.